Howdy folks, and welcome to another reaction video. This time we are reacting to my busy mate Killjoy's top 10 Donkey Kong Country tropical freeze tracks of all time. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Contrary to most people watching this video, I have actually not played this game. I mean, anyone who's watched me play games will likely know that platformers, not really my jam. And, well, quite frankly, I'm pretty terrible at platformers and puzzle games. So, whilst I have listened to this soundtrack once upon a time, it was a long time ago, and there was only really one track that stood out for me, which was Seashore War. That track, in my opinion, is easily a top 25 track of all time, which I did cover in my own top 100. So that is pretty much my one and only prediction, is that Seashore War is basically guaranteed to be on this list. But the question is, will it be number one, or is it in the wrong place? That is my only question. Jokes aside, of course, whilst it is my favourite track, it may not be Killjoy's. To be fair, most of the tracks I may very well be hearing for the first time, as it is a series that, whilst I'm aware of the Donkey Kong series, it's not one I've ever played, so tracks will be probably quite new to me. Anywho, time to crack on. Let's go, and let's do this. Alright, in at number 10, Grassland Groove by donHaize. I am going to assume donHaize did all of the tracks in this this game. So, I'll read these system messages as they pop up. Quite possibly one of the most unique songs in a video game. Could easily be something from a Disney film, with all that chanting. The track is made up of different parts that slowly change as the player gets through the level. I mean, it is kind of Disney. I can see that. Just kind of listening, seeing what's going on in this track. Again, not a track I'm familiar with, so. Okay, well that definitely changed pace. So, fun fact, donHaize is definitely Killjoy's favourite composer when it comes to video games. So this first line is not at all a surprise. donHaize is a god when it comes to rhythm in video games. This track is always bouncing, always being catchy regardless of any changes that happen. It's really hard to keep the music engaging for a long period of time, but he makes it work with ease. One thing I will say is there will be links to Killjoy's original video in the description below. So if you guys want to listen to the 10 tracks without interruption and without me yabbering on, there will be a link and you can go follow it there. I quite like the sort of panpipes in the background. That's quite cool. I like that. And the chanting certainly is interesting. In a good way. It's impressive how many voices there are during the chanting sections. You can hear Donkey and what I think it's meant to be one of the other Kongs too, as well as many other vocal parts. Not bad for the staff at Nintendo, eh? Assuming it is the staff at Nintendo. I would assume not, to be fair. But it is cool, I like it. I actually quite like this track. Music's kind of chill, but also it's... I guess it's, as Levi would say, or Killjoy would say, it's moving. And the drums are pretty awesome too. The bongos. I love how the track calms here with the simple chant and then the introduction of the woodwind to keep the part moving along. It's a nice break to let the music shine through here. Okay, I like the woodwind. I've always had a soft spot for woodwind instruments. For me, this track's missing like a violin or a cello or something, just for those deep tones, but that's just a personal thing. Yeah, I do like this track. I do think it's good. Is it as good as Seashore War? Absolutely not. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say it's number 2. I don't think it's Killjoy's number 1. Should be though. So one of the final parts, and we get a build from everything that's been in the track so far. It all comes together beautifully. There is a lot going on in this track. Oh, that's changed. Interesting. That's a solid, more? Well, this kind of feels completely out of place compared to what we had previously. This bit just feels random. Like, unless it's a different track. No. Okay. That was just a really weird outro for this track. But a solid choice nonetheless. Solid choice. Alright, Homecoming Hijinx. Alright, system message. Starting with that build from the strings and then hitting hard with the brass section does wonders for making this sound like a Viking invasion. It helps that the percussion is also on point. The drums help create a slow march while the other instruments act brash and loud over the top. If you know what your DKC tunes, you will also hear small nods to other tracks from the series. I like the brass, it's nice. It's kind of a jolly tune actually. Violin pluck in. Well, I assume it's a violin of sorts. Definitely a string piece. Alright, we have a small break in the music before it ramps back up. You can hear a slight chaos in the music with the harp. The melody being played and the brass behind it all. It all builds back to the original melody that's now being sung. Ooh, I like the chanting in the background. This game clearly has a lot of chanting actually. Seems to be a recurring theme for sure. That pipe section there is really nice. Guess that recurring melody. This is very different. Harvest Hazards. What a different track, and what a banger this one is too. That percussion start, then a slow synth, the awesome slap bass, and then the melody. Every part of this track rocks. It's interesting to me that this sounds like it was made in the 90s. It's the choice of MIDI sounds here that give it the vibe. More woodwind. This section adds in what I can only describe as gongs, which adds a layer of slightly off-key but wacky sounds. All of this is pushing along with by the bass, which is just the perfect synth bass. I don't know how I feel about this track, to be fair. Like, it's not bad by any means, but not quite my vibe. Anyway, the sudden change here is unexpected, but it's a great way to mix things up and keep the music interesting. You get introduced to a marimba, which almost gives the track a bit of a mystery vibe to it. I really do like the panpipe. Like this bit here. It is catchy, I'll give him that. Yeah, I like the whatever this instrument is as well that's just come in. Catchy for sure. Definitely the best part of this track. Overall, good track, but it was only bits or parts that I liked. Okay, wow. Well, that's changed direction quite rapidly. Big Top Bot by Daisuke Matsuoka. Wow, this is different. This is the only track on this list that isn't composed by David Wise, and I think it shows. I'm just going to let this music speak for itself. Let's rock. I love the guitar. I definitely have a soft spot for e-guitars, man. Woo! You know what? It almost sounds like it could be out of Crush Bandicoot, this track, to a degree. Especially this bit here. Also sounds like this part of the guitar, like e-guitar, could very easily be in something like Unreal Tournament as well. Yeah, the name makes sense of this track. There is some serious guitar playing within this tune, but I am here for it. I do think this pretty much outshines any other boss music in this game. I love how much varied music there is in DKC games. There's a reason why this series is considered one of the best when it comes to the soundtracks. I mean, this is a really cool boss theme. Might have to look this track up afterwards. Add it to the rotation. It is all about that e-guitar though. It carries this track so well. I love how catchy the main melody is. I find myself humming it a lot. The different guitar parts work well here, giving the track a rich sound and some tasty guitar playing. Whenever two guitars are playing complementary parts, that really is the cherry on top. I do like that. That's a cool melody. Credit where credit's due. I like this track a lot. Just a sucker for guitars. Once upon a time, I think that would have been not my cup of tea, like with the rock side of it. But actually, as I've grown older, like I really gotten into the guitars and e-guitars. What an epic breakdown! That rhythm guitar part alone makes this entire part awesome. I can't get over how metal this track really is. When the lead guitar comes back in, it screams across the music. This part of the track really sells it for me. This is easily one of the best boss themes in any game ever. Nice. Love it when the guitar sings, man. Is it a bit too long? I think maybe it is just a smidge too long, this track, but yeah, I like it. I think this is going in my rotation. This sounds gallant. Aqueduct Assault. How does he keep making such bangers? The strings on this track make it for me. In fact, that's probably my favourite way strings can be played. When played with short stabs, it can create motion within a track, and that's exactly what they do here. The drums accent the rhythm of the strings rather than being the main instrument keeping the rhythm going. Well, I'm a sucker for strings, so let's have it. This almost sounds like it could be out of Pirates of the Caribbean. The strings really are the workhorse here. They give the feeling of running. If you've played the game, this level is all about moving. I like how the brass is used in this track too. It really builds upon the foundations of the other instruments, but never overpowers them. And those vocals, nice touch. Yeah, there is a lot of vocalization in this game, and I do like vocals in tracks. I really do. I think they kind of just add that extra bit of oomph, you know. As far as strings go, maybe not my favourite piece. To be fair, like it's. I understand. I can see the attraction, but it's not my cup of tea. But It's an alright track. I'd say this is the weakest track of probably all of them so far, actually, on a personal note. I think the other tracks in this list so far are better than this one. Purely as a matter of opinion, of course. Okay, now this sounds more like Donkey Kong, to be fair. Like traditional Donkey Kong. Tropical Freeze aside. Wingding is an interesting tune because depending where you are in this level, you get different versions of the music. So let's start off with what I call the indoor part. Two things to listen out for. The first being the accordion, which gives this track its mountain feel, and the second is the weird gated percussion, which somehow works really well here. Other instruments include woodwind, flutes, marimba, harp, and many more. It's worth listening to this track a few times to really get a feel for just how much is going on here. I always enjoy it when different instruments take over as lead. First we had the woodwind and now the accordion is playing the melody. During this section we get treated to more strings and some minor bass parts too. Also shouts to that bass part in this track. It's just there but it adds just enough to give this whole thing a pop. Again, this is a personal thing, but I think this is the weakest track so far. It's not doing anything for me, unfortunately. This is what I call the outdoor section. We get different instruments here instead, with effects that try to stimulate being up a mountain. A lot of reverb and delays used here. The accordion takes a back seat and allows, well, to be honest, I'm not sure what the new lead instrument is. I can't tell if it's some kind of woodwind or brass. It's great regardless. It's definitely a catchy part to this track. You can already tell the difference between the indoor and outdoor parts. There is a lot more space in this section, with the synth and strings doing a nice job of creating a calmer style. Even the percussion is lighter here. I will say I definitely prefer the outdoor to the indoor part. But it's just not doing much for me, I'm afraid. So far, track number 7 is like easily my favourite so far. The guitar man. Woo. See, personally, I would say Wingding 10, last track probably 9, probably the 10, 9, 8, and then 7, I think for me would be 5. Oh, I like this bit actually. This is cool. Sounds like it gets better at the end. Like one final flurry. I like the tune. Amiss Abyss. That's a cool name for a track. Ah, I have heard this track before. Not that I know it by name, but I know it by tune. Of course, some underwater music was going to end up on this list. David Wise is known for these tracks, and this one is just as awesome. A nice combo of piano, strings, and percussion really sells this track. I agree, man. This is a great track. And one I actually know, although not by name. There's just a lot going on here. I like the woodwind as well. There's a really nice change of lead instrument here. We have the piano, flute, though it sounds like panpipes. And then there's whatever plays next. A melodica, I think? All this works so seamlessly together. It keeps it interesting too. Yeah, this is great, man. Cannot argue with this track at all. This is definitely going in the rotations. I really like this track. The panpipes or flute, whatever it is incredible. And I just like the tune as well. It's like, it's proper chill. This one this one has similarities to Seashore War. That's probably why I like both of them, actually. Yeah, that tune is like super catchy and just really nice. I can listen to this all day. That piano is so good too. Ah, this is a very different change of pace. Busted Bayou. This track is awesome! A guitar-heavy track with some elements of reggae for good measure. This is just a frantic bop with a nice mixture of instruments and a catchy melody. It honestly does not get much better than this. I do love me some reggae. And guitars, obviously. Sweet change bringing in the steel drums to take over as the lead melody, giving this track that feeling of a nice sandy beach. This track plays in the treetops, which you can't see much of anyway because the level plays in the shadows. Go look up some gameplay. This part sounds like it could be straight out of Monkey Island. There's a throwback game from a long, long time ago. I like this track. Is it as good as Amiss Abyss? I don't think so. I also wouldn't say it's as good as track 7 either. I should have made a note of all the track names. I did not, unfortunately. Harpsichord is certainly something different, but it works well here, adding an extra flair and bounce to the music. It is a good melody and I like the guitar. I will say that. It does have a nice kind of vibe. And now we build up to the best part of this entire track. Can you guess what's about to happen? It's epic. Yeah, so the guitar's taking the lead. Nice. Oh, and the panpipes. Ooh. And brass. That sax solo though. Yeah, that's good. I like the fact that it's kind of like built and built and built, and changing the instruments for the melody is cool. Keeps the track progressing. If you like this type of sax, check out Supernova Dreamsicle from Borderlands 3. Highly recommended. I like that track. I don't think it's as good as Amiss Abyss, and I don't think it was as good as track 7, in my opinion. But I think it's better than all the other tracks on this list. Now, is Seashore War going to be next, or is it number 1? I hope it's number 1. It should be number 1, in my humble opinion. But will it be? We're about to find out. A horrible feeling he's going to put it number 2. Ah, he has put it at number 2. Unbelievable. Fool of a toque. Oh, list is wrong. No, not having it. Jokes aside, this is a fucking banging track. Alright, there is an argument to be made that this might actually be the greatest video game track ever made. Disagree all you want, but this is one of the most beautiful tracks I've ever heard. For this game, it might not be my number 1, but looking at video game music as a whole, find me something better than this. Ah, Seashore War, so good. This it's also too quiet. I don't know why the volume feels like it's at 5 instead of 10. This track is honestly phenomenal. This guitar part is so emotionally charged and haunting. Not many tracks can bring me to tears, but this one does it most times. You should see his reaction on my top 100 tracks when this came on. I don't think he even expected that I even knew about this track for the most part. But I love it. I think it's brilliant. Easily my favourite DKC Tropical Freeze track. And Donkey Kong in general, to be honest. I mean, I think Tropical Freeze does definitely have more memorable music for me personally. Having not played the games or have any nostalgia for the video game itself. There's just so much about this track that's amazing. I mean, it's kind of repetitive, but it's just so nice. If you're wondering why this isn't my number 1 track from this game, yes, it's simply because the last track makes me feel a lot of emotions, whereas this nails the one it's going for perfectly. It was a coin toss, really. Either track could have taken my top spot. Well, you put yourself on the spot now. What is track number 1? It better be flipping amazing to knock this one off the top spot. That's all I'm gonna say. And then it all just comes in and going, ah, oh, so good. Like, there's not even like a huge amount of instruments with this track. It's just everything just blends together so beautifully, and each transition is seamless. It's just such a glorious track. This did make it into my top 25 tracks of all time. And with good reason. Okay. Scorch N Torch. This track has it all. The fear, the haste, the pounding percussion, a haunting yet catching melody. It helps that it's normally coupled with one of the best levels in the game. But it stands loud and proud on its own as one hell of a track. It also has my favourite strings in a game tune ever. You can't tell me those strings aren't great. They push the track, they act as the movement while the drums act as the fear. Just for good measure, we get a flute at the ending, just to add at the end, just adding that flavour we all wanted. I have heard this track as well, actually, to be fair. Oh, it's so similar to Amiss Abyss. I assume those two levels play to back. But yeah, there's panpipes or flutes or whatever woodwind instrument that is lush. It's just nice. Is it better than Seashore War? I don't think so. Just for good measure and because it deserves it, I'm going to let this track play again. While the track plays us out, I just want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, so I like the list, I really do. There's definitely a lot of good tracks on here. Whilst they might not all be for me, I can definitely appreciate that these are good tracks. And I think Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze probably has the best music from the Donkey Kong series, at least that I've listened to. I can't say that I've listened to every single track in the DK series because, quite frankly, it's not a game I've ever played. I have no nostalgia. That's purely coming from, you know, taking each video at face value. I honestly couldn't think of a world in which you put this track above Seashore War. I'm sorry. Maybe that's my bias, but I do like this track. I would put Seashore War at number 1, Amiss Abyss at number 2, Scorch N Torch number 3. I can't remember what track 7 was, but track 7 would be number 4. Probably 10, 9, 8 would probably be the other way round. If we're going... Actually, let's go 10 to... So, Wingding's got to be number 10. Whatever track 6 was would be number 9. 10, 9, 8 would be next. I think we'd have to go track number 7. I just love the e-guitar in that. Scorch N Torch... Oh, sorry, Busted Bayou. I'd probably put Busted Bayou actually at number... what would that be? 6. And then track 5 would be the e-guitar one at original track 7. Then you'd have to have... I reckon Scorch N Torch at number 4, Amiss Abyss at number 3. Sorry, that would be... This is terrible. Let me write this out and then I'll go through what I would put in what order. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Let's try that again. So, in my honest opinion, I would order them as such. Wingding at number 10, Aqueduct Assault at number 9, Grassland Groove at 8, Homecoming Hijinx at 7, Harvest Hazard at 6, Busted Bayou at 5, Big Bop Top at number 4. That e-guitar was incredible. Scorch N Torch, I did like that track. Is it better than Amiss Abyss? I don't think so, personally. So Scorch N Torch at number 3, Amiss Abyss at number 2, and then it's a no-brainer. It's got to be Seashore War at number 1. I mean, that track is absolutely banging. So yeah, that would be how I would order it personally. But that's not to say Killjoy's wrong. Obviously, he's made those choices for a reason, and obviously shared his thoughts on that. And yeah, that was actually really fun. I really enjoy reacting to these types of videos. For future reference, I will be making notes of the tracks as we go along. I think that was my bad. Yeah, I didn't think about that until halfway through the video. which got me tripped up. So yeah, no, I there's definitely some tracks I'm going to be adding into my rotation. As I say, I think Scorch N Torch, Amiss Abyss, and Big Bop Top definitely going to be going on my rotations. I did enjoy those tracks. Seashore War's already there, so yeah, no. But yeah, that'll probably about do it for me, folks. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this content. Do hit the like if you did. Subscribe to stay up to date with all the content I upload. It does also help to support the channel and would be greatly appreciated. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be great to hear from you. And yeah, also check out Killjoy's channel at the Engineering Bay. Again, links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, and I shall catch you all next time. Ciao, ciao for now.